your first tip number one, would be really think about the relevance and the priority of your strategy for the business. So for that, you really want to focus on the clear business objectives. So to do that, you really need to have an idea of where the business strategy is going, what the business wants to achieve overall. And then you need to think about, okay, so how does your strategy, how do your plans then fit into that? Currently as well, things may not be that straightforward in the organization. The organization may not be awash with cash. So you need to think about, okay, if you were making that decision, where might your plans fit in the overall priority list of all the investments that the business may have to do? So do understand the challenges, possibly talk to some of the stakeholders as well and get their sort of feedback as well on your, your likelihood to succeed, and try and find a way forward together. Second point is show the value. So you want the business really to trust the data. You want to work with the business teams to understand what they need. You want to start simply. And, even the simplest analytics projects can show some value to customers, but really show the value to start with, get the business on your side, and then start to ramp up from small wins. And part of that as well is seeing if you can try and get senior stakeholder support and visibility in that activity. Because ultimately you want to have some influential people at the board fighting your corner. Because as we said before, there's going to be lots of priorities for the business. Third tip is think about quick results. So start with the data sets that are easy to get hold of and provide value. And then when you start using that, you start to effectively build confidence in your ability to deliver. If you're waiting for 5 or 6 months to get hold of the data you need, the business gets very bored and impatient. So start off with something where you can show some quick results. Give yourself, say, 4 to 6 weeks maximum, ready to create the first output and get it in the hands of the business. You're probably only going to be going for, say, 80% of the solution, but that's okay. As long as you can start to demonstrate there is some, real value in what you're proposing, what you're looking to achieve, then that's the key thing. The business wants to believe you can deliver what you're talking about. So the fourth thing I would say is really inspire people to act. So you want to make all of your results easy to use and understand, and actually something that people see as important. If you're talking a different language to them and they can't really get what you're trying to say or where the value is, they're going to start switching off. So make sure your insights are useful to the business and get them in the hands of the business so they're actively starting to use them. And also when you are communicating the benefits, make sure you're communicating in a language that the business understands. If you're talking to senior execs, don't get tied up in complex data babble. Keep it simple, business focused, relevant to their knowledge bases. So think about the relevance of your message and how it benefits the audience you're talking to. Fifth area is a broader thing, and that's really starting to build a data culture. Now, Gartner's identified this as one of the key challenges for CDOs nowadays. And it's really where you want to make data part of the collected conversations of the business. So having data at the very heart of the decision-making process means it becomes a lot more relevant. People start thinking in data terms. They're not just going on gut reaction. They want to see the data to support the hypothesis. And that's really where the whole data story starts to sort of take shape. You also want to be regularly meeting stakeholders as well and communicating with them the things you're doing, getting them to understand, because you may, as we said beforehand, be talking a different language to them. They mightn't see things the way you see them. So think very much about engaging your stakeholders, bringing them on board. And also you need to probably create a mini data team. So with representation from across the business, the start of a sort of data governance team or a data pilot project, something to get people actively working together. So they start to understand the benefits of data and see things are achievable, and also iron out some of the issues that you're undoubtedly going to have to start with.